Hi, my name is Skye, and this is the reference value for active healthy adults ages 19 to 29, normative data and differences between sex. Muscular fitness is well accepted as a critical component for health-related physical fitness. However, performing a comprehensive muscular fitness assessment presents some challenges and will be time-consuming. And this has resulted in the underutilization of the process in exercise training programs. Like an assessment for muscular strength, the assessment of muscular endurance should be specific to the muscle group and other unique assessment factors. The Young Men's Christian Association bench press test, or the YMCA bench press test, is accepted as an assessment of upper body muscular endurance. However, the normative values for the YMCA bench press test is over 20 years old and is now considered to be outdated. The normative values utilized for comparisons of performance were reported with no information on the total number and characteristics of the participants beyond age and gender. The first purpose of this study is to examine, reassess, and disclose updated normative values for the YMCA bench press test for a college-age population for muscular endurance. The subject population of this study includes both sexes, varying athletic abilities, and is non-racially homogeneous. Secondly, this study aims to examine any differences between the sexes, so between male and female subjects. What is the YMCA bench press test? This is an upper body muscular endurance assessment. It's an alternative to the push-up test, and the test begins at the very first actual push of the barbell. Males will be benching 80 pounds, whereas females will be benching 35. And this is at a set cadence of 60 beats per minute, which turns out to be roughly 30 pushes per minute. And the termination of the test happens when either proper lifting technique, full range of motion, or cadence cannot be maintained by the testing subject. The YMCA bench press test was performed by 150 college-age individuals, 75 males, 75 females, and the variables that were measured were the number of repetitions, volume load, and volume load divided by body mass, which is also known as the volume load ratio. All data were analyzed separately to provide percentile values for men and women. The descriptive statistics that were calculated were mean, standard deviation, minimum, and maximum. And a t-test for independent means was used to verify the differences between men and women. And the significance for all statistical tests were set at p is less than 0.01. Our results show that men and women had the same number of repetitions, which is 37 plus or minus 16, and the p-value for a number of repetitions was 0.15. For volume load, men had an average of 1,338 kilograms plus or minus 564, and women had an average of 590 plus or minus 259. For volume load ratio, men had an average of 6.8 plus or minus 2.6, and women had an average of 3.8 plus or minus 1.5. For both volume load and volume load ratio, there was a significant difference found between the sexes, and the p-value was found to be less than 0.01. A normative reference value table was created for the number of repetitions, volume load, and the volume load ratio. In the 25th percentile rank, the number of repetitions were 28 for men, 26 for women. Volume load was 1,008 kilograms for men, 409.5 kilograms for women. Volume load ratio was 5.1 for men and 2.5 for women. In the 50th percentile rank, repetitions were 34 for men, 38 for women. Volume load was 1,224 kilograms for men, 599 kilograms for women. Volume load ratio was 6.6 for men, 3.7 for women. In the 75th percentile rank, repetitions were 45 for men, 49 for women. Volume load was 1,602 kilograms for men and 772 kilograms for women. The volume load ratio was 7.9 for men, and for women, it was 4.9. These are the reference values for differences between sex. The variables we looked at include age in years, height in centimeters, body mass in kilograms, BMI, percent body fat, the number of repetitions, the volume load, as well as the volume load ratio. If you look to the right, you will find the means and standard deviations of all the variables. These variables are not only categorized by sex, but are also combined between males and females. This study established sex reference values for the YMCA bench press test among college-aged adults and to compare values between sex. Our data in this population also confirms the common finding of higher total volume load and volume load ratios in males versus females. Overall, these findings provide useful data that can now be used to interpret individual performance, including not only the number of repetitions, but also the volume load and the volume load ratio. This data will be useful for coaches, athletes, and fitness enthusiasts who require access to a muscular endurance test that can be done without special equipment. And now we have the data to interpret results. So for the discussion, the YMCA bench press test is a convenient assessment for upper body muscular endurance because there's no special equipment that's really needed. Limitations to this study include that the YMCA bench press test solely focuses on upper body muscular endurance, and this study also had a very limited sample size. So future studies should include squat tests for lower body muscular endurance, as well as a bigger sample size so that we can have more generalizable normative values. And that's it for our presentation. Thank you.